Hey guys, welcome back to Spire. Today we'll talk about the best of Dr. Pimple Popper. Let's head into it. A flying pillar cyst.
It's out easier, that's a good thing too. But it's not long at all. And one other thing that people are worried about, a lot of people are worried about.
Quick, someone catch that pop fly. In a new Instagram video posted Monday, Dr. Sandra Lee handles a pillar cyst with a very powerful pop. For fans who crave that satisfying cyst pop, this video will be an extreme tease-up until the dramatic climax. The first couple of times Lee squeezes the incision on her patient's scalp, the opening isn't quite big enough to let the pillar cyst come through. Finally, after enough scalpel work, the incision is big enough to make way for the cyst, and out it comes. The round pillar cyst goes flying out of the patient's head, but thankfully, Lee is able to recover it and display it in the palm of her hand. It came out like a cork, one fan observed in the comments. A trio of blackheads, moles, and cysts.
Did you hear her?
Are you saying that?
Yes, I'm making fun of her. Having a hard time. Did you hear her lecture?
In a new compilation YouTube video, Dr. Pimple Popper removes a series of freckle-like blackheads from a patient's cheek, followed by a mole from another patient's cheek and a whitehead in yet another patient's ear. The skin concerns, which are all very different in appearance, and their subsequent removal showcase the amazing range of Lee's practice and skill. In the first and longest clip, Dr. Lee removes blackheads or open comedos from a young patient's cheek. These are clogged pores that are filled with dead skin cells and oil, which can be sticky, as Lee says in the video, and hard to cleanly extract. I see what you mean with this one, Lee says to the patient about a particularly stubborn blackhead. He's coming out, but he's definitely grumpy. She quickly adds, "It's so weird that I think they have personalities." But it's true that some blackheads are more difficult to remove than others. In this video, some of the blackheads are so stubborn, even Lee's trusty comedone extractor can't remove them. The dermatologist advises the patient to apply a warm compress and use Retin-A, a medication to treat acne, to loosen the blackheads for removal. That's a tip to steal for yourself. When it comes to removing a mole in a different clip, Lee explains to the patient that her skin concern is located next to a vein, meaning bruising could occur upon removal. Pulling the patient's skin taut with one hand, Lee uses a blade with her other hand to carefully cut the mole off. The procedure takes mere seconds. After, Dr. Lee shows a clip of the growth under a microscope. You'll never look at your own mole the same way. The last clip of the compilation shows the removal of a tiny cyst from a patient's ear. This removal, which like the previous takes mere seconds, it's done with a comedone extractor to pop the cyst and extract its contents. Unlike the cheek blackheads, which were removed with the same tool, this procedure produces a more satisfying pop of skin cells and keratin for traditional popaholics looking for their fix. Gummy worms. Dermatologist Sandra Lee uses a split screen, that old school trick that every AV club nerd learned in high school, to show multiple pops at once. It looks like Lee is squeezing prime pink growths on both the right and left arm of the patient. There's no surgical incision, just Dr. Pimple Popper's magic hands applying pressure and releasing streams of buttery goo in stereo. The silent video cuts to a scene of Lee squashing down on yet another cyst on the poor gent's face, which seems to carry multiple scars from extraction. The contents of facial cysts come out in one gummy worm-like shape, pink and yellow. While acne is a common life experience, an individual cysts can develop from a clogged oil gland or burrowed in a bit of dead skin. The development of several large pus-filled cysts is usually the result of an underlying condition like steatocystoma multiplex. The condition varies in severity, and there's some evidence it's genetic. There's no treatment other than the surgical removal of the cysts once they become too unsightly and painful. Luckily, this guy is in capable hands. A 25-minute bedtime video. Do you need to watch Dr. Pimple Popper videos before you go to bed, even if your partner tells you there's something wrong with you? Do the swirling spirals of blackhead pus and the blossoming gunk from inside a cyst lull you into a dreamless sleep? Well then, my friend, Sandra Lee has the product for you. The California-based dermatologist and star of TLC's Dr. Pimple Popper has rolled out a 25-minute ad-free bedtime video. Lee hyped the video in a 26-second trailer that dropped on Tuesday, and folks, it's pretty incredible. There are blackheads, cysts, and there's so much pus, our brains could barely handle it. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.